Welcome to Real Wonders, a show where we look at some of my favorite films and talk about all kinds of movie magic with a hint of spoilers. My name is Rick Masi and I'll be your guide through Sinners. Sinners stars Michael B. Jordan, Miles Caton, Hailee Steinfeld, Jack O'Connell, Delroy Lindo, and is directed by Ryan Coogler. Set in 1932 Mississippi, Sinners follows twin brothers Smoke and Stack Moore as they return home after spending years in Chicago. They purchase a sawmill from a racist landowner and transform it into a juke joint for the local black community. Their juke becomes the target of Remmick, an Irish vampire fleeing from Choctaw vampire hunters, who then seeks to exploit their cousin Sammie's musical abilities to summon spirits. As Remmick and his newfound vampire family infiltrate the community, the Smokestack brothers and their allies must confront their foes, both dead and living. Sinners is delivered in one of my favorite formats, Day in the Life. A Day in the Life film encapsulates the story within a single day, and it usually offers an immersive exploration of the characters and their community or environment. A few film comparisons that come to mind when I think of Sinners are Do the Right Thing and From Dusk Till Dawn. Our Day in the Life happens at the Juke, and the whole Juke is a vibe. It's an atmosphere. This was easily one of the best times I've had in movies in years. It was everything I wanted it to be. Entertaining, emotional, memorable, quotable, great vibes, great acting, great music, great moments, great direction. There were two things I did after getting home from the theater. First, I checked the theater schedule to see when I'd be able to go back and watch it again. The second was I pulled out my guitar and I tried learning some of the songs I had just heard. Before I go any further, let me say that this film is so rich and thematically dense that there is no way I'll be able to touch on everything. So, one, I encourage you to watch this film. And two, if you love it like I love it, do some further research into the making of this movie. Let's quickly talk about film business for a moment. A tremendous amount of respect is due to Ryan Coogler for making a deal that seems like it will pay dividends for many years to come. As reported by Business Insider, Ryan Coogler negotiated a groundbreaking deal with Warner Brothers, securing ownership rights to the film 25 years after its release. This arrangement also granted him first dollar gross points and final cut privileges. For any filmmaker, this is huge. Final cut means he gets to put his stamp on what was released without too much corporate oversight. Coogler bet on himself, and it's paying off. By accepting a deferred financial return, he could potentially earn approximately $1 million annually once the rights revert. But it's a great segue into one of the many themes that is present in the film, black ownership. Black ownership is central to Sinners, beginning with Smoke and Stack buying the sawmill and transforming it into the juke joint. This act creates a space where the black community can gather, express themselves freely, and profit from their own art. At one point, the phrase "for us, by us" is mentioned, a subtle nod to the brand FUBU.
It's gotta be tonight. Grand opening, start this shit with a bang. Or we start with a misfire. Look at that sky. That's a mighty fine day to be free, ain't it? Our own juke joint. For us and by us, just like we always wanted.
This theme extends into the film's musical core because the juke becomes a hub for authentic Delta blues. Now, Delta blues is a genre of blues music that originated in the Mississippi Delta region in the early 20th century. The genre was deeply rooted in the African American experience and often conveyed themes of hardship, resilience, and longing. Delta blues was a major inspiration for what would later become rock and roll music. The blues is born from pain and stories. It's felt. There's a brilliant scene where Delta Slim is teasing Sammie for wanting to play the blues, but never having experienced it himself. Slim tells him about one of his friends who was trying to make a better life for himself and his community, then was wrongfully accused of a crime and executed by the Klan.
Rice said he was gonna take that money, going out to Little Rock, start him a little church.
Did he?
The damn fool. He took out all his money to pay for the $2 train ticket. Train conductor saw him. Klan got a hold to him. Searched his pockets, found all that money. Made up a story about him killing some white man for it and raping that white man's wife. And they lynched him right there in the railroad station. You know they cut off his manhood.
real. That's the blues. We even hear another of the central themes of this film, freedom. Throughout the film, Sammie is dealing with this conflict of sinning, which you can also read here as playing the blues. Or should he follow in his religious father's footsteps?
It wasn't forced on us like that religion. No, sir. We brought this with us from home. It's magic what we do. It's sacred. It's big.
This conversation between Slim and Sammie foreshadows another scene later in the film between Sammie and Remmick. Slim makes a point to Sammie that Christianity was forced upon their ancestors. It came from them. The blues comes from us. This is your culture. Speaking of Sammie. Sammie Moore, aka Preacher Boy, is the central figure in Sinners. He's our link between the past, the present, and the future. In a scene that I can best describe as an all-time cinematic experience, Sammie plays his song, I Lied to You, and lifts the veil of time. And he says, there are legends of people with the gift of making music so true, they conjure spirits from the past and the future. We see it play out on the screen. Rock guitars, a DJ, twerking, tribal dancing, different religions and cultures uniting through music. This is what attracts Remmick to Sammie. Remmick, who we come to find out has dealt with his own fair share of hardships, sees Sammie's music as the bridge to the past and to those loved ones who are long gone. Like many of the villains we've seen in other Coogler films, Remmick's motivations are not so black and white. He confides that he's trying to start his own community of vampires to deal with the loneliness.
You're the one I came for. I sensed you. I want to see my people again. I'm trapped here, but your gifts can bring them to me.
So, spoiler warning from here until the end of this video. Trust me, you don't want this spoiled. When Sammie and Remmick finally face off, Sammie starts praying, and Remmick's response echoes the conversation Sammie had with Delta Slim earlier in the film. Remmick starts reciting the prayer back to him, but not in a mocking way. He mentions that he had heard it from the people who took his father's land.
Long ago, the man who stole my father's land forced these words upon us. I hated those men, but the words still bring me comfort.
Though the sentiments and words are comforting, they won't save you, just like they didn't save me. This conversation with Remmick is ultimately why Sammie chooses to continue his dream of playing the blues. And it's quite literally Sammie's guitar that saves him. Throughout the last scenes, it is almost glued to his hands. This will be a film that will sprout new generations of filmmakers. It'll be the topic of film-related discussions for years to come, and that makes me so happy. I was trying to think of the best possible way to end this video, and I realized that though there were many profound moments in the film, it was the mid-credits scene that evoked that throat-swelling, verge of tears type feeling from me. We jump forward in time to the early 90s, where we see Sammie has lived out his life as a prolific blues player, played now by real-life blues legend Buddy Guy. It's revealed that Mary and Stack, who had been turned into vampires, had survived the events of that fateful night. Sammie says to Stack,
"You know something? Maybe once a week, I wake up paralyzed, reliving that night. But before the sun went down, I think that was the best day of my life. Was it like that for you?"
No doubt about it. Last time I see my brother, Lee. Last time I seen the sun.
And then to follow it up, there's an end credits scene of Sammie in the past performing This Little Light of Mine, and the frame cuts as Sammie looks off camera. There are a few theories that this implies somehow Sammie sold his soul, but I don't believe that for a minute. I think that this is Sammie in a moment of doing what he loves, looking off towards the horizon, towards the sun, and in one little honest moment, he feels free. And just like the film, we're gonna leave it there. I'm Rick Masi. Thank you so much for watching Real Wonders. We'll see you next time.
Break it down now, break it down now.